hey Stampin' friends, this is Darlene with Darlene Stamps, and I'm glad you found me. It is towards the end of October. I'm talking the last day of October, and this is the October kit. And I'm kind of in makeshift, so bear with me as I work through and try to give some insight. And hopefully you have a little bit of your kit left so we can make some alternates. And if you'll stay tuned, I'm sure you'll have fun and learn some tips. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is my first card and alternate. And so I want to kind of show you what I did. I tried to do a little different this time. I had one of the viewers who gave me a comment, and so I want to kind of work around that and see if I can make adjustments to how I show my alternates. So what I did was I took the envelope, which have this nice little background, and I always chop up the envelope. So this is a piece of the envelope. These are also the negatives for the ho, 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 and Mary. So I'm going to take the Mary, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I use it in the back side. So I want to use the white because you can see how the Mary has the little white around it. So I'm going to use my own little shadow. So I'm going to take this, and I will, so when it comes out, it'll be white on this side. So I'll be right back with that done. Okay, so now I have my Mary. And this is just the back side that I traced it. That way when I trace it, you don't see the tracing lines on this side. So I'm going to get my card base, and I'm going to just cut that down because I want it to be at, going to be at 4 is going to be my, all right, so here is my cut down, and I'll use this for something else. Okay, and I want to use the little snowflake, and if I use crumb cake will be kind of a tone on tone. And I want to use, make sure you want to use, if you can, an odd number. So however you want to do that, I tried doing it so that, oh, let me get my bed in here. My table where I'm at is a little uneven. So, but I don't want it to get in the red. So if I put my little sheet down here, when I stamp on, I can make it look like it's coming. See how it's coming off that little edge. Anyhow, so we are staying with our children as we are in transition. So I have a bit of a hodgepodge craft area. So if this side, if any of you have a small space, or you're using your kitchen table, just know that I understand the small confines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is always important to keep as much of your craft area wherever you go. That's how I've always looked at it. All right, and I'm leaving the little bit of the middle because that's where my Mary's going to go. And I'm just going to, I don't have time to wash it, so I'm going to take some of the ink off, boom, boom. And then I'm going to use my silicone to put some of my, my glue on here. Of course, color side down. And so anyhow, in my craft area, I am actually using the dining room table, and I have everything a little bit wonky, and it's also part of my area of not having everything as it used to be and doing them. So that's kind of our shadow. You can see it, so it's not really totally pretty, but that's okay because all we're doing is the shadow, and then we're going to use the Mary. And anyhow, so so we have some stuff in storage, and I've tried to put as much that I thought that I would use, but that's kind of why I'm delayed in my pumpkin adventures, because by the time we got the stuff in storage and everything. So what I want to do is I don't want to totally be over it exactly. I want it to kind of step off a little bit. See? And then in the kit came a stamp set, and this one is 'Tis a Season to Be Jolly, and I thought that was kind of nice. And I love the polymer, so I made it dance, so you can see that I kind of swirled it, so when I put it on here, it kind of gives it, instead of just a straight kind of line, see how it kind of danced a little bit? So that's my dance. And then I took these little glimmer snowflakes. They have the kind of the glimmer to them, kind of shimmer. So I took half of it so that it just kind of comes off the bottom like that, kind of gets the bling. So I did that, and I did a different Christmas. These are just from the other pumpkins. So I'm going to take my, oops, not this one. I'm going to take my, come on. All right. If you use the silicone, what's nice is that when you do your glue and it goes off, you don't get it on anything. It totally is impervious. Ooh, that's a big word. Pervious to sticking. So I'm going to get this on here so it looks like it's coming from underneath. See? And then I will do my pop-ups. Now, however you keep yours, I keep mine, and these are the old Stampin' Up! Containers with the stamps, because they came as blocks back in the day. So it's just a nice kind of way to keep my stuff together. Okay, so now I have my stamp on there. I have my, and I tried to do a different element so you can see that we're going to have to come up a little bit because I took my Mary too far. So I tried to use the elements. I used the embossing on that Christmas with the white kind of pops. And then if I just take this and I want to make white for my background, just so that I can offset some of the color on there. Now this is, I've said before, but I don't know if I remember saying it since a couple years ago. Whoops. This is Tumball glue, and Mamie sells it by the tube. And we're getting to actually an area where she's going to stop mailing it, because in the wintertime, and she's in Alabama. But there you go. So let me get my edge a little bit crisp. Once you fold it, it doesn't sometimes have that. And I try to use the back side because it leaves a sheen to it. Anyhow, so there is different kind of Christmas, different kind of area. And I'll be back with my second one. Okay, so this is a simple, and it's using just the Bermuda Bay, which is part of this piece that comes in the kit. So using it and then accenting it. Took me a little while to kind of get the variation of this, but let me just show you real quick. Since I, again, am in makeshift, I don't have all of my colors. So what I did was I already had a piece of the Bermuda Bay, and I already had the embossing on it. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do is going to kind of use the same concept, but I'm going to use the cherry cobbler as the base. And rather than, again, this is kind of how we makeshift, is when we don't have what we're intending to do, but we can modify. So the red will be my base, and I will start to build on here. I used the ho 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 only because I used 2 of the Marys in the last project. So I'm going to get our ho 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 on here, and I'm thinking that I will just put this up on here. I'm doing this and I shouldn't be doing this. I should be going here. So using the silicone mat makes sure that I don't get glue where it's not supposed to be, because your work surface should kind of, if you can, stay as virgin as possible, so that you don't get things on there that you don't want. So got a little bit of glue that popped through, pop that through. The paper towel helped kind of damp off that glue, and then I just used the Christmas that came from one of the pumpkins. Actually, no, it came from the Christmas banners. A little Christmas in there. It's just clean. It's neat, and because there's so much bouncing. I guess it's a bounce, some kind of bounce script. So cherry cobbler on cherry cobbler, and then with all of our Christmas time, and I know it gets really kind of crazy with everything, but it's nice to kind of have a little bit of break and kind of put this together. So you can see that it'll have a little bit of a difference just because it's more, this has more of a, just a splash of that color, pulling this color together. And then what I'll be doing is just kind of putting it more broad. And so I want to get my snowflakes on here. And that way it kind of gives us a little bit. And you saw the first one, so I did 3 on the first one. So I'm going to do 3 on here as well. And then this comes with the dots. And I have them, but these come and they're free. It's nice. You know, if you're thinking of doing a hobby of any kind, you know, sometimes it's nice when you can kind of try it out before you get really into it, because poof, it can be quite the cost for the investment. Whereas with Paper Pumpkin, these kits, it's like $20-something a month, and you don't have to do a month. You can just do it one time and say, nah, that wasn't for me, and be done. But it makes it nice because you don't have to go get glue dots. You don't have to get glue that goes in there, and anything you need already comes already set. So did I do it on the wrong side? I did. Son of a biscuit. Sorry, I'm cursing on the video. All right, I will be covering that. So let's get this off. This is what we do when we boo-boo. So we're going to put it right there. And you do have to have some kind of nails. I mean, there should be something that says this is a prerequisite. You do need to have nails in order to pull these things off. So this is how we improvise, because I already have a glue dot there. Then this will go right on there, and we're going to pop this up. So when I was telling you earlier about this, and I use the bones, they call it the bones, and that's just the outside edges of this. I use my icky scissors, and by using a bigger piece of this, it uses all of the pieces rather than just the inside for the dots. And I normally, you've seen before, hopefully you've seen some in my previous videos, is that I use double-side tape, mounting tape, And that just helps to minimize the cost of using all of the dots to get a big layer of this to raise up. And you'll see the difference, I think, when you're trying to get dimension without putting layers upon layers upon layers, is that just popping it up gives it a little bit of a shadow. And so we're going to put that right there. And so you can see how it kind of gives that little edge of that shadow, gives that more depth. And then by putting this on the back of, or as a layer on the cobbler, it'll still bring out that red, and that was my intention. So, all right, so this is what we started with to getting an alternate, and then we just did a little bit of variation, but it kind of, you can kind of see which one you like better. But it also goes by what paper you had, because I already had this. So that's alternate number 2. All right, last one I'm going to show, and I'm going to kind of do a little variation just because of my supplies. This has a lot of elements to it, and you can see that with this actually was plain, and my wonderful husband had said, oh, put those little snowflakes there. So it kind of took some of the, it broke up some of that dark area of the cherry cobbler. And then this has popped up. But I want to show you a variation of this. And this is what happens when you leave things on your desk. So I have my embossing done, and my pad fell out of my hand, hit the bottom. So now I have to kind of make it look the same. So I thought I would kind of show kind of what I'm going to do to get a little bit of it, making it look on purpose. And basically try to have it more purposeful. So again, it's not going to be perfect, but who's getting it has no idea that I didn't plan it that way. All right, so I'm going to use, so we're trying to use the weight, okay, the weight here, and break this up. So first we'll put our 3 different strips, and this is from the cardstock that came with, and these are 3.5 by 1 inch. And then I'm going to use these pieces out of here, and of course you see it fell on here as well. So yeah, and I'm sorry, my lighting doesn't seem to be here. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, so hopefully it doesn't come out too dark. But these are already color. I thought I packed my spruce, and I did not. So I'm just going to put these out, and I think what I'll do is get my edge done. Anyhow, not that you need to see how I'm gluing, but for the sake of time, I'm just trying to get a little bit of an edge on here. It looks like I have this up here. Let's hide that. We're going to put it on this side. I was going to try to fix my edge because it went all over the place. So instead of trying to cut it and then that won't match, I have a strip that's going to go across there, and it's going to cover it. So there you go. This is all about fixing the boo-boos. I tell you what, there is a lot of things that go on with crafting. And one of the nice things that I think is most advantageous is the forgiveness. Because when it comes to, it's kind of like, you know, when you're cooking, you can adjust it. But when you're baking, you can't adjust it. It's kind of pretty much toast. When it comes out, if it comes out good, then you're good. If it doesn't, there's not a whole lot of fixes. But I do know that whipped cream and ice cream are the fix-all of be-alls. All right, so we are going to put these down. Looks like I'm over here. I don't want to get that edge done. Okay, and I wanted to say and looks like I'm really cutting wumpus here. It's nice with tear a snail because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. But once you put this tumbler glue down, it is down for the count. But I wanted to say that if you're going to be doing a lot of mailing of your cards, make sure that you do more tumble glue than snail. Snail can release. I know it says permanent, but that's not entirely true. And so I have found, oh, I thought I just messed myself up. I tried so hard to put that edge down there. I thought maybe I missed it, but I didn't. I got it all good. Okay. So we got our edge down. Okay, so now we have our 3 pieces. And then this piece goes across here. And looks like I have the edge on there as well. I just spazzed, I guess. And then, so this is our banner, and I'm doing it freehand. But if you just cut in the center, then you go from the edge to the center on both sides to get you kind of a banner. So we got our banner, and we have our piece right there, but I think I'm going to use this one instead. So what's nice is that you have, and my cutter, I don't have my, you can use, I'm using my nail instead, but you can use an emery board when you have the envelope. It's very, very thin. So when it goes through your edger, your paper trimmer, it can fray. So normally I have a emery board to get all those little fuzzies off of there. It's just for my edge. Okay. Ta-da! All right, put that down. And I may find that I have to do something else, but I thought I would try to at least show my boo-boo of the intentions of it and see if I could somehow make it work. We'll see. Okay. Got those down, and now I want to put, this is the, I've cut these out, and this comes from the paper that is the boughs of holly, and in here is, I think it's this one, and I just cut those out. So, because I thought, sorry about that, cheapers. Okay, so I want to be able to put a bulk, so I'm going to put poinsettias, and then I will put my I think we can still put some little snowflakes here. Okay, yeah, put a snowflake there and there. Oh, and we need our circle. And we're just going to go ahead and use this because I had part of the ink. Ink went everywhere, absolutely everywhere. All right, so it looks like I didn't turn off my my phone, so I get little text messages, which is not supposed to happen. Don't they know that I'm working? Okay, so this is the last one, just trying to get this down and get my circle punch, and that will go right here. And I think we're just going to go put it on white for that. And you see how there's an edge here, which should have been the other way, but if you score down or use your score, the lip that happens when you cut goes away. So I know that hopefully, as you see some of the boo-boos that you can say, gee, you know, if that's as simple as it is, I can do that too. So that's the hope. Is that, you know, when we have things that don't go the way they're supposed to go, that we can have assurance that there is light at the end of the tunnel. All right, last poinsettia. Let's make sure we get all of our leaves in there. Okay, and then this will go right here, and I'll have a Christmas saying on there. There. All right, so a little different, kind of gives you an idea of that. So, and then here is another one that I got done. And I just cut up that stencil, used the Joy's Pop It Up, and I used the Christmas season stamp set and did that background. And I just used the cardstock that came in the card. And then this one's kind of fun. This is a skate die. I don't have the skate stamp, but it's a skate die. And but used the background from the envelope and the edge and the Merry and the Christmas, and using the Bermuda Bay as that. So anyhow, this is my creation of alternates. I was kind of hoping that you'd be able to kind of see some of the variations, and hopefully that you get some ideas from that. But have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you so soon. Thanks for